Welcome to the shit show.
It is the All Elite Wrap-Up for January 15th, 2025. Had to remove the Outrunners shades there for a second so I could see my notes. Tom, I got to wear these when we start the show because what am I going to wear these out? At a Walmart?
Yeah.
Should wear these out to Walmart, right? Well, one, I should never go to Walmart. Nobody should ever go to Walmart. Don't do that. But
yeah. Because sometimes, you know what I learned? Side note about my new interest, the action figure collection, they have exclusive lines, which are bullshit. So, like, for example, there will be a
but you can get it online, maybe, right?
Yeah, but you got to get it on
into
Walmart. Yeah, like this is exclusive.
I just mean the act
of
of going into a Walmart. It's bad for your health. You do not want to do that.
Dude, oh, man. I don't know. Are Walmarts no longer 24 hours? They used to be.
Correct.
That's
correct.
Bullshit.
They are not. I know.
Walmart
Our society is failing. We
Yeah.
had 99-cent fast food menus and 24-hour Walmarts. We are failing as a society. Where did we go wrong?
I don't know, but I do know Walmart after midnight was like a real fun experience.
Yeah. So I do remember talking to a police officer. This was oddly enough during the George Floyd protests. Remember that going on?
Mm-hmm.
I was actually talking to a police officer, and he brought up in Kansas City, Kansas here, Walmart. Like, they literally station up at Walmart because they were like 70% of the crime happens there at Walmart.
Yeah.
And I was like, Jesus. And they were like, but that's like, it's the marketplace. Like, where else is anybody going? And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. And they were like, yeah. So like, it's all there. And they're like, so we got to be there. And I was like, I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I love Walmart. I really do. I think it's fun. I think it's a good melting pot. I think you'll learn a lot about here's a fun thing. If you're single, here's a fun thing. Take your date to Walmart. If they start to get like this, oh really? Oh,
I
you're
couldn't
so
tell where you're going. I
progressive.
didn't know if you were going to be like, stroll the Walmarts and you won't be single long.
No. What I'm saying is take a date to Walmart. And if they start on, because here's the fun thing about white people. I'll speak personally for myself. We love to be like, we're so progressive. We're so everything is. And then some of us, white people, get into situations, and then all of a sudden they're the most conservative person.
Clutching a lot of purses.
Yeah. So if you date white people, take them to a Walmart.
Take a date to Walmart. Listen, this show is going to provide you a lot of things. Hopefully entertainment being a key one of them, right? Hopefully some insight into views of long-term pro wrestling fans, and hopefully some friendships. Dating, solid dating advice. Well, yeah. Who knew that you would also get that here?
Man, 10 years ago, remember 10 years ago, I was really giving that date advice out. Oh, that was
and I don't know if take a date to Walmart was.
Yeah, but I think it's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah,
in my wisdom,
you're going to find out a lot about your date at that point. Look, we've got a lot of folks in the chat already. We got Fuck Your Mama 2 times in the chat. Wrestling with Neurodivergence podcast in the chat. Rewind 89, who is not Taz, says Taz could be a cop and his town would have zero crime. Either you fear him or you respect the GOAT Taz.
Yes.
And Fuck Your Mama 2 times says Walmart is where you buy your Magnum condoms.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, brother.
Well, at some point I just had Prime shipping them.
Yeah.
Happily married man that hasn't had to use those Magnums XLs.
Oh yeah, the Magnum. Yeah, yeah. Huh? Yeah.
What was it that guy that hosted the show with you? You said his thing was he would always ask people that, like, how big is your dick? He would say, like, just out of nowhere or something. He'd be like, I bet you got a big dick. How big is your dick?
Yeah.
He asked me that one time, and I just told him a real quick answer, and he was just like, okay. Like, oh, shit. Like, I guess he didn't expect an answer.
Ozone sometimes would do that to female waitresses just to make sure they were paying attention. Just, because waitresses. And so he likes, obviously, you remember him. He likes to engage, right? He doesn't want to just sit and transactionally be around people. He likes everyone to be engaged and him engage with them. And so, yeah, if the waitress was just like, you need some more water, and how big's your dick? What?
Yeah. No, sir, you can't get that with what? I'm sorry, did you say butter? Listen, yeah, the reason I brought the chat is because I want everybody in the chat, right? Like, talk to each other, talk to us. We need friends. These are troubling times, Tom. Grab some friends, put your arms around them in a non-creepy way, unless that's consensual between you and however many folks you want to do that with. Now, Tom, AEW Dynamite just got off the air. Normally, we like to rest on this so we can avoid some hot take opinions. So who knows what's coming today? Could be crazy, right?
I just told you to go take a date to Walmart to make sure. And I'm standing by it still. I'll circle back. Again, do you want to test what these, I'm not I don't see any color. Okay. Come to Independence. Go to this Walmart. Huh?
Yeah.
How you feeling now?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Neon Ghost says, what's up, Tim and Tom? Welcome, Neon Ghost. If you're late, you missed dating advice from Tom. He says to take a date to Walmart. So if you need to catch up, you can always catch this later, right, on demand, or you can rewind. All the links are available at allelitewrapup.com. Fun fact, I like to bring up www.allelitewrapup.com because that's also now our Blue Sky handle. I noticed on the Substack, it said, hey, guy, I was in the settings, and it says, hey, you want to make your Blue Sky handle your website? And I was just like, yes, I do. So now our handle is not like allelitewrapup.bluesky.social. It's just at www.allelitewrapup.com. So there you go. You can find us there. The Blue Sky, we're trying to make that a thing because you know what I mean? Fuck the other guys, right?
Fuck Threads. Fuck Facebook.
Yeah.
I just saw that there's a new platform going through Blue Sky that will be like a place where you can post your pictures. So fuck Flashes, Instagram.
They said, yeah.
Yes. Fuck all those bullshit.
Yeah. Follow us there on the Blue Sky. And then, if you want to interact with us and social media is failing you, we do have an email, aewrapup@gmail.com. You can send anything to us. If you want us to talk about it on the show, type it out, send us a video or an audio, and, we'll play it or we'll just talk about it, whatever your preference is, right? Just talk to us that way, however, and if you're in the know, you're in the know. There's other ways to get us online, but, you got to be kind of, right? You got to be cool. Find us in the other.
Yeah, you got to be cool. But then I found out you got to be an extra level of cool because Neon Ghost has been posting these things that I don't even know about. So what's up, man? But I won't get into that.
You're in the extra cool, aren't you?
Nah, I'm not. I thought you would know. There's these cryptic cool things where I'm like, woo.
I don't even know what level of cool I am. I'm, you know what I mean? I'm just happy to be alive and out of prison at this day in my life. You know what I mean?
I'm one of those.
I consider myself better than what I thought I was going to be. You know what I mean? At this point. So, Tom, AEW Dynamite, everybody's here to talk about it. Neon Ghost is here to talk about it. Fuck Your Mama 2 times. Wrestling with Third Eye Virgins podcast. Has Rewind 89.
Let's talk about it. Let's get right into it. So it was taking place in Cincinnati, Ohio at the Brady Music Center. Obviously, the granddaddy of them all.
Yes.
And so here's where we really kicked off. Well, here's one memory. The human suplex machine, Taz, is back.
Yeah.
Back at it, calling the matches. That's a great, refreshing. He just has an energy. I mean, obviously, everyone will have certain things that they bring to a broadcast. Taz, though, from day one, being that voice of a kind of, grizzled old vet, kind of a baby face, kind of a heel. I like it.
I like that he can float, right, to kind of whatever we might need the storyline to fit. Fuck Your Mama 2 times in the chat says, I actually liked this venue. And yes, I did want to talk about the Brady Music Center, the granddaddy of them all. Obviously, you know it well, Tom. You've seen it so many times in many of your media-consuming memories. But this is something that everybody's been saying, right? Okay, AEW, if you're getting smaller crowds, let's go to a smaller venue. And they did that here. Albeit, I'll say, they still had to shrink the venue. It still was a little empty. So I don't know what's up with Cincinnati, right? Again, you said they don't always do a great job of marketing in the towns, or at least that they haven't here. So maybe that's a case of that there. But I think it still came across well, right? It gave it more of the fight pit-like feel. I like the idea that they did. I don't know if you caught this. Hard cam was Tron side, right? It was entrance ramp Tron side. So what are your thoughts overall here?
So first off, the thing that I'll address is that camera side there misses some things. Cause when they run out, you
Yeah, I
got to
don't
like
know they're
flip
running
it
out.
and then you're like,
Mhm.
right. And so it's
True.
kind of clunky there.
I agree. You get more crowd in the shot when you do it this way.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that was fine. I think the venue was cool. Again, not to, beat a dead horse here, but we've kind of said it since really day one. The marketing has to get better. Like you have to be, I know that like sometimes maybe wrestlers are signing with the AEW because they're like, you know what, we don't have to do a 6 a.m. radio shot with, Jazzy
These
J in the morning or
jack
whatever.
offs Tim and Tom and fucking
Yeah.
in Kansas City.
Yeah. So
Jesus.
right. Like, but you also have to do it because that get, like, yeah, you just have to get after it. And then the other thing, and I said this as a Christmas wish, but I think it'll work because, like, for example, Cody is on the Burt Kreischer and Tom Segura podcast, right? That's not pro wrestling, but it's exposure. They need to get out of this bubble. Like,
I know a podcast. A lot of these folks could come on.
Yeah. This one.
But
yes. But going back to my point as
Rewind 89, can you help with any of that? I'm just
exactly.
Anyway.
But yeah, and the merch table is not good either. But what I was going to get at is, and this isn't to I was always right kind of thing. But if you start to look at everyone's social media in AEW, one guy is taking pictures with 50 Cent and DJ Khaled, and the other guys are just taking pictures with each other. Like Swerve Strickland is that guy that can get some of these seats filled. We'll talk about it because he was on the show tonight. He's a fucking star. Like, he's a star. But let's talk about it. So, it kicks off with the return of the best bout machine, the cleaner, Kenny Omega versus the Machine, Brian Cage. And I tell you what, two guys that know where the weights are. You know what I mean? These guys know how to do the push-ups and the pull-ups and all that kind of stuff.
Also know where the supplements are, at least one of them for sure.
Hey, you know what? Good. I hope you do it all the time. As long as it makes you feel good, fucking awesome. Just, monitor it. And again, excess is bad in all situations. But in this matchup,
Kenny Omega skin time to like relax. If you stretch it too fast, it's going to pop,
Ooh, I tell you what about someone.
We're like
skin.
Rob Terry. Remember that guy? We were like, dude, if you hit that needle one more time, you're literally going to explode, dude. You got to stop. Anyway.
Yeah, we'll talk about skin here in a moment too. But Don Callis's Brian Cage versus Kenny Omega. What do you think about Kenny Omega's new entrance music? That's where I first want to start off with this.
The entrance music is fun, but I gotta say, Kenny Omega coming back, I'm waiting and begging for the moment we get the one thing Justin Roberts has done that I've found endearing in 10 years is the North Carolina, the whole shtick thing. And I get that's not what he's doing right now, but he can still have that swagger, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, it's fine. It's good for what it is, but, I'd give it a good solid, A minus if I'm.
I don't like it. And let me clarify. I like it for big moments, right? If we get the payoff, what it feels like eventually we're going to get to this is Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega at a pay-per-view. I want this entrance that we did tonight. But when we're just doing Brian Cage, Kenny Omega, give me that.
When shit gets serious. Then
you can slow it down, right? Then it has that aura of bigger than what this actually could be, that kind of stuff. But when it's just, no offense, but when it's just Brian Cage, give me that the sweeping and all that stuff. Like, I want that weekly. And you say, kind of like how when Bryan Danielson, now towards the end, he just fucking did Final Countdown every single time, but how Bryan Danielson was doing his normal entrance and then he would save the Final Countdown for the big moments. That's kind of what I want Kenny to do here.
But Rewind 89 reminds us that let's not forget Brian Cage is one of the few lucky ones to hold the most prized possession in professional wrestling history, the FTW title belt.
Hey, yeah, he was. That's a fact.
That happened.
That happened. That is a thing that happened. But we get all the fun stuff here. We don't get too crazy. I don't feel like we got out of bounds with any, cradle bomb off the third rope kind of thing.
Yeah.
But V trigger, no one kicks out of it. Kenny Omega hits Brian Cage with the one winged angel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And right after that, guess what happens? Don Callis family, we're punching. Kenny Omega
Don
stinks.
Callis getting involved.
Yeah, Don Callis even said, I'm going to punch him too because I don't like him. Yeah. So then that brings Will Ospreay because he doesn't like Kyle Fletcher and the Don Callis family, but Kyle Fletcher. So then they kind of take everyone out. And right when they're like, we got the upper hand, here comes Takeshita. And he's like, oh, I'm the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Mollywops him, gives Kenny Omega a little, how's your father? And then Kyle Fletcher and Takeshita take out Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega. So what do you think about our first opening match and then the fallout from it?
It felt like a lot of mixing of things. And it feels like we still don't have nailed down exactly what we're doing with Kenny Omega. I mean, I guess, he's getting mixed up in this Don Callis thing, I guess. Mm-hmm. But, I just, not a whole lot of like hooking me here, at least, right? Like, I didn't feel like anything like really made me be like, oh man, I wonder what happens next.
Yeah, I think I may have said it last week when he did his promo and then we started the Don Callis stuff, but I don't want retreads. I want brand new stuff with Kenny Omega. I don't care about Don Callis and him anymore. I don't care about the family. No offense to Will Ospreay, but at this current point, I don't care about those two guys fighting each other again.
I agree with Fuck Your Mama 2 times in the chat, though, here. Takeshita is the shit. He calls him 3 contract Takesh. Man,
yeah.
He's got a swagger that doesn't look like one even that's where it's like, oh, look at this confident motherfucker, right? It's just like he comes
Takeshita?
out and you're just like, yeah, you're just like, yep, some shit, you know what I mean? Some shit could go down here, right? Like, it's just, Takeshita is just, I don't know. Yeah, he's different. He's very unique.
Yeah. I just want, this might sound a little mean and I don't intend to make it be that way, but I want the Elite to get out of their comfort zone. Hangman seems to be doing it, right? He's going in there with the Swerve Stricklands, the John Moxleys, and I know Kenny Omega has too, but I'm just saying, like, the Elite need to stop playing with their friends. You know what I mean? I want to see, I would have loved if Bobby Lashley would have debuted and Kenny Omega came out right afterwards and was like, what's up? I'm back. And he's like, oh, and then we just have a clash of just craziness. I mean, say that to yourself. Think about this time
Kenny
last
Omega,
year.
Bobby Lashley, yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck, right? Or the Hurt Syndicate versus Kenny Omega, right? You can include MVP and Shelton Benjamin. But like, just to do the Will Ospreay, Don Callis, it's like, man, come on. I'm fucking done with, like, it's boring.
Well, there's nothing new they're going to say, right? Like, as good as Don Callis can make you want to boo him, he said it all about Kenny Omega.
If you've never seen it, right? If you're just a new AEW fan in the last couple weeks, as an example, and you're starting to see this, watch all of it. It's going to be great. But if you've seen it once, you've probably seen it twice. And as I mentioned,
69 Me Don is classic television.
Oh, yeah. That's the best. But what I was going to say is, again, he's not Kenny Omega, that isn't the youngest wrestler on the roster. He obviously had something wrong with his old belly, right? And his intestines. So let's not just fuck around and just do some fun. Like, I swear to God, if he does after this, right? Like, let's say he loses to Will Ospreay, right? If he fucking gets into a program again with Chris Jericho, fuck off.
Or the Young Bucks, right?
Yeah. Young Bucks and Kenny Omega.
Well, here's what would piss me off is, okay, so he gets through this, and now we get the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega are in a battle, and then he gets injured and actually can't wrestle again. I'm going to be like, really? You fuck?
Yeah.
Like, we did
what
that
the hell?
For all that, exactly. Guys.
Yeah. And again, I hope none of it happens, right? As far as like injuries or anything, but not to say we're on borrowed time, but we're kind of on borrowed time. All right, let's move on. Chris Jericho talked. And then after that, Ricochet walked out. Fuck Chris Jericho. I don't want to talk about his bullshit, stupid.
All of it was bad. I don't know why they're still doing it. Why is it the New York Minute? That storyline about him being in New York was anyway. Let's stop talking about it.
Oh, and Brian Keith cussed.
Yeah.
He said, fuck. Okay.
Really
so Ricochet
to turn him into like a 3-line.
Yeah,
like
a dork
line character. Yeah.
Yeah, what a dork. But who's also a dork, but in a different way and kind of cool. Ricochet, he walks out and he's like, oh, you motherfuckers don't like me. And the fans are chanting, who's out? Swerve, who's out?
I love that the fans, we all like this new character, but we have all agreed to like help it and lean into and give this guy the most shit, right? Like,
yeah,
because that's what's driving this thing is like, what? No, right?
Mhm.
Like, fuck you.
I would pull a little bit of a WWE move here where if I was AEW, I'd be handing out toilet paper to fans or
Yeah, so
having
this
it
is
underneath the
always
seat.
happening to him.
So it always happens that toilet paper is getting thrown at him. Don't do it now. If that does happen, don't do it during the match. That's dangerous because it can really fuck things up.
That's where it's hard to monitor, right?
Yeah. Right. But if there's
you can get local talent to help you, just sneak out of the crowd at one point and then just
throw it all in there. Every time. I think that should be every time. But he's trying to talk and then they're booing him, doing the chant. And finally he goes, you know what? If that's how it's going to be, listen to this. A picture is worth 1,000 words. And it's Ricochet holding Swerve's head up. And, the Swerve's blood is everywhere and all that. And he's like, ha, ha, ha. And then whose house? Oh, shit. And so Ricochet's like, all right, then. Like, if we got to do it, we got to do it. I got scissors in my pocket. Like, all right. And the funniest moment of the night, he's looking for Swerve here. And Prince Nana hits him in the back and immediately starts dancing.
Yeah.
Even like wait till he's fully like on the ground.
Yeah. Great stuff.
I love that.
A couple things I feel about this. I like that we're playing into Ricochet is kind of losing his shit here, right? A little sociopathic because, just something snapping. But like, I want to continue that sort of character work, right? So if it's just Swerve beats him up, okay, but then like we need him to have a complex about that too, but I don't need it to like continue with Swerve, right? So like I'm kind of hoping this is squash-ish, if that makes sense for that reason, because I want Ricochet to dive a little more into like, God damn it, right? Yeah. Like, yeah.
I also am curious to know if this is still Hurt Syndicate adjacent, right? Because this is kind of still there because Ricochet had the card, then he didn't, then Swerve makes fun of him for basically being a nerd, but then Swerve loses to Lashley. So they're still like there. So I wonder if MVP circles back because the match was announced in 3 weeks, Ricochet versus Swerve on Dynamite. I wonder if during that time, maybe MVP goes, hey, you want that card again? And then we see maybe some, like you said, a character development of, no, fuck that. You said no to me once, you don't get me twice. Or, yeah, dude, he's killing me everywhere. Like, I don't even know where to go. Right. Yeah. So
that could go a lot of ways with it. But I like that we're just getting something different with Ricochet. Like we've never, never seen it.
I have never seen
on
exactly
TV here. Right.
Yeah. So after he gets hit with the steel chair, Swerve comes out. He has like chains, like these long, like industrial chains. And he tries to hit him.
I love that too. Cause you could be like, Swerve, where'd you get the chains? And he'd be like,
why
nice,
yeah.
Yeah.
So he swings for him. Ricochet gets out there and he runs out of the arena. Just like you can see the snow on the ground. He just runs out. Again, a little bit of what I could have, like, if I were to get this and like, what could I do with it? Follow him running. You can fade to black, but like go out there. Like, where the fuck is he going? And he's like
running through town. Yeah. Dodging fucking Ubers.
Right. Yeah, just have them running. And then you can be like, oh, we'll be back. And then fade. Like, it would have been fun to see him because then like I just saw snow, right? Anyhow, next up, we get Mercedes Moné. And I will say, but Mercedes Moné looks like a star in this highlight package. This was the 4 belts, the TV show, the Humvees or whatever they're called, the big cars, all that stuff.
Good marketing.
She looked like a star. Yeah. Great marketing. Who's calling her out? Someone called that girl out?
Yeah. Any reason for us to care about this? Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm never in favor this is just me personally speaking as a fan, of what I call like empty calorie segments, where if you recall when she said, Mina, I'm coming for you, after she defended her championship against Statlander, essentially she just stood there and goes, I'm great, got a match coming up, bye. But there was really nothing to it. And this looked like a star. Again, if you've never seen her, you probably think she's the best wrestler in the world. And to some people, she is. But it wasn't like I'm on a jet and Willow's can't pay rent, or you know what I mean? Like it just, okay, neat.
Yeah.
You know how many fucking other billionaires I'm looking at that are living better lives than me that are fucking me over? Like, I don't need you to join in on that, but I digress. So we'll see. Who would you, here you go. Let's make a segment out of it. Who would you like to see Mercedes Moné put up her championship against?
I mean, at this point, like, I can only think of somebody that, like, I'm really behind right now is Willow, right? But we've told that story, you know? So, like, I just, we haven't done a whole lot of greatness here in the women's division, if I'm being honest, in storytelling and character work.
I've thought of one, and I don't know if they want to shoot the bullet this soon, but I think it'd be a fun story. But Soraya's career, if my memory serves me correct, was ended by Sasha Banks. It was a kick to the back or something like that. Maybe I thought that's who it was.
Gotcha. Okay.
If you do hey bitch, I want your belt for you taking, however many years it was, 4 years out of my career. There you go. Right. You got it right there. Yeah. We all know it. Correct me if I'm wrong to him.
I dated Alberto Del Rio. You know how fucked up that was? Anyway.
I proposed to him in a ring. I proposed to him.
Fucking crazy. We think Tony was crazy. I was
really crazy. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Didn't they did they stab a guy fighting off a drug deal gone wrong or something too? Like, weren't they like being sought after for fucking
anyway, down in Mexico?
Look, we've all been down on our times.
Right. But I just think that's an easy story, right? Hey, Mercedes is living high. She gets a reality check from a woman who really wants to hurt her, right? This isn't, I just want your championship. It's, I want your career kind of thing. I think that'd be a fun, quick story to tell. All right. Then we get trios match. We get, I'm down to fight in the parking lot, Mark Briscoe and Private Party taking on the Hurt Syndicate in-ring debut for AEW. MVP. What'd you think of this whole 6-man tag match?
Surprise with MVP coming out. Thinking, I was like, oh, I didn't know we were still doing that, right? That he was still going like that. Because they're not taking our advice on the Private Party having a gigantic party of like 20, 30 plus people. This Mark Briscoe teaming up with Private Party for this match, we could have had Mark Briscoe coming into the Private Party, and that juxtaposition, you know what I mean? With them being like, no, he's cool. And everybody being like, he is, right? They're like, yeah, right? And then, like, I mean, we could have went so many ways with that, just as a fun little segment, but we didn't get that, right? But but this served its purpose, right? Like, Hurt Syndicate looks badass, don't they?
Well, they did a promo too where MVP, talked about trading in his, what was it, his diamond ring for his boots or something like that. Like, he had this quick promo and it looked amazing. I was like, yeah, that's a star, right? I think MVP is great. Yeah, he's cool as fuck. I don't know the Punisher thing. Get that off your phone.
Yeah, it's also, like, I know he had that a while back before, like, the
look into the Punisher
co-opted that, but like, it's not.
Yeah, well, look into it. It might be because anyhow, but
that's what I'm saying. The cops have co-opted it, even though it's
right.
A character about hating them, but whatever.
Right.
Fine,
well, Bobby Lashley looked great. Honestly, of the three, and I am so shocked that I would say this, Shelton Benjamin's the one who I've been the most impressed with. Obviously, this is MVP's first match, but I'm just talking about presentation-wise. This is the first time where I'm like, could Shelton Benjamin be the TNT champ? Because I wouldn't hate it. You know what I mean?
Benjamin looks, again, at 68 years old, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We don't fact check. That's out of style now. So he moves with, again, a smoothness, right? Like, as he's walking around the ring, it's almost like, hey man, I've done this exact match, coordinated 1,500 times. I don't misstep. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't move the wrong direction. Like, none of it. Meanwhile, I'm also tossing motherfuckers and throwing elbows and breaking teeth. He's awesome.
Yeah. It reminds me, I have a friend, Derek Ripley. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He has the worst knees. He kind of walks with a limp and like to the side. Like he doesn't walk straight. He kind of walks like this. But as soon as he takes his shoes off and gets on the mat, you would have thought he's 21. He's like, I think he's, because I'm 30, I think he's 47. And he just fucking grabs these 19-year-olds and like, whatever, fuck you, 23-year-olds. I got that. Like, but then as soon as he's like off the mat, he's like, motherfucker, this, you know, and kind of reminds me of Shelton Benjamin, where it's like, again, he's moving fine, but I bet tonight he's got 30 ice packs all across his body. But if he has to wrestle tomorrow night on the show, he's like, yeah, okay, boom, and then gets the boots on and
lights come on.
Yeah,
and, you know.
It's easy to do. Yeah. So Shelton Benjamin, I think it was, got the pin. And so now we've got one of the Hurt Syndicate members pinning one of the members of Private Party. And let's fucking do this. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Next week, title match by Private Party. Like, not by, but you're going to work up.
But like, again, character work can continue without the titles, but like the titles ain't obviously making them like everybody's like Private Party or my dudes, right? That would happen through cool segments in private parties, but you know, what do we know?
Yeah. But I think having them lose in I think kind of like a squash, like you guys aren't ready for this level of violence. And then they have to learn it, right? Like then they go back and then now, let's just say in 4 months, they're like, let's run that back. Oh, okay, cool. Because I think what you would do with the Hurt Syndicate, in my opinion, beat Private Party for the tag titles, right? Boom, got it. Then whenever you decide to get rid of the tag titles off of them, right? Let's say Private Party wins it back. Hey, they prevailed. Then as a trio, they say, hey, Rated FTR, why don't you Rated give us those belts? And then they go for the trios, Hurt Syndicate versus Rated FTR. That's the next two things I would do. But
we Rated whoop your ass.
Yeah,
Rewind
exactly.
89 reminds us grapplers have the worst knees. Taz just had double knee surgery. Taz is a legit second-degree black belt in judo and a great amateur wrestler.
Judo's not real.
Well, he actually wrote Jude, but I'm assuming he meant judo.
Yeah. Look, right. Judo is good for entry level, and then you got to really fight. Anyhow, karate. I broke a board.
I don't remember what movie this back in the 80s or something I saw where somebody was like, I know karate. And they were like, good, maybe he'll visit you in the hospital.
Yeah.
Fucked him up.
That's a great line.
Yeah.
That's a great line. I like that. Yeah, karate's dumb. Bruce Lee sucks. He does. What's his best fight? He beat Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in a movie. Fucking get out of here. Yeah, man, whatever. I don't know why I shit on him. It's late. Okay, so then
Steven Seagal is a judo master, says Darren.
Steven Seagal can fucking walk to the ocean and don't stop. Then it was announced that next week Dynamite, it'll be, I'm not saying it, I'm gonna say is Adam Copeland. I'm not saying Cope. Adam Copeland against Pac. I think that's gonna be fun. That'll be a fun clash of styles, right?
Yeah, that's gonna be very interesting. I'm trying to break that down in my mind, how that's gonna go down. That's cool. Mm-hmm. I like it.
And then what I didn't like was the next segment. Jeff Jarrett walked out. Why? Why the fuck does he walk?
And this was long.
Oh my God. And
so behind the curtain, I took a phone call during this segment. And so I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to rewind and watch this, right? Because, MJF and I want to hear it. And then after a while, I kind of looked back up and I was like, oh, I must have paused it. And I was like, no, this thing is still the fuck on. Like, I really thought like I felt like 20 minutes had gone by and these motherfuckers were still talking.
They weren't saying anything. It was it was MJF plays the hits, right? So MJF comes out and he does the your wife bang Kurt
He did
Angle,
everything. Like
you're a
this
carny
was
thing,
last week's
right?
segment.
Yeah. But then, and this is where it really lost me. Look, I will assume Jeff Jarrett has learned from his ways and he is a good person now, right? Let's just give him the benefit of the doubt. It was as if he was scared to say these lines. He was like, and shit. and your mom was a call girl, which again, call girl, Jesus Christ. Like just say prostitute. But
yeah,
he was afraid to say the lines, it felt like. And then we just then did it again, where then MJF. And so yuck, yuck, yuck. He says Owen Hart. That's the tipping point. Also, it was going on so long that MJF was sweating through his spray tan. You could start to see fucking Rudy Giuliani lines on the side of his head.
Yeah. Well, yeah, when you go out there in a suit and a scarf and a 3-piece and the lights and yeah, man. And I know we all hate the spray tan, so you want to heal it up, so you spray tan it up. But like, guy, man, it's looking real bad. You giving Jeff Jarrett the benefit of the doubt that maybe he's cleaned up his act and become a good person. What do you think he voted for Kamala Harris?
I don't think he did at all.
Yeah, probably not, huh? Anyway.
No. Well, like I'm saying, I think he's acting in good faith, not knowing his blinders. I bet you it's that. I bet you he's like, well, anyhow, we're getting political. But I'm just going to say, I'll give him, because he was a pussy when it came to delivering these lines. It was Frady Cat, and your mom was, and I was like, dude, just fucking say it, man.
Yeah.
Like, say it with your chest.
Yeah.
It just, so I will say this. So we get the Owen Hart line that led to Jeff Jarrett punches, right? Cool. Security comes out, get out of here. Karen Jarrett comes out. He's like, all right, I've realized, okay. I like though when MJF grabbed her and was like, used her as a shield to get out of the ring. I might have fucking really taken her or something. You know what I mean? Like, not like kidnapped her, but like walked her back to, it was too quick. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it was so quick. Yeah.
Yeah. But I did like that little spot. It was,
yeah,
cool.
I'm not bought into any of this. Again, it felt like we redid last week's segment, but longer.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I just,
and
was out, checked out.
And Jeff Jarrett, even personal feelings aside, Jeff Jarrett is a lifelong heel. I don't want to, like, it's hard to cheer for him.
Well, and Karen Jarrett, we have almost exclusively never cheered for Karen Jarrett.
Yeah, especially in AEW. They've been heels the entire time, right? Like, I know when we broke real kayfabe.
What quality would you cheer of Karen Jarrett?
Yeah. Yeah. So that segment happened. Then we get Christian Cage versus Hook. And what'd you think? What'd you think of this whole segment?
I'm starting to really check out on Hook, if I'm being honest, because we just haven't done anything with Hook.
It's the same thing. It's the same veteran pushes him to the limit. Now, I will say, I did like the spot where, so it's a non-finish, right? Christian says, come in here, which I thought that was kind of cool. Like, fuck it, I'm going to tap. Someone help me so I don't lose.
Yeah, get in here.
Right? Yeah. And I did like Taz. Taz did a very good job in here. He's like, you guys expect me to just be a professional here? And he stands up, and then we get Samoa Joe. And Samoa Joe,
he's heard your voice ringing in his head since Dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Christian would have helped like a real father. So now he's a chance again, Taz. Yeah, now look at what's happened.
Yeah. God dang it, Taz. I love you so much. You should have been a dad there. Dynasty was your opportunity. But I think we've lost our way with this whole segment because I like the angle of Christian Cage saying, hey, Hook, I'm doing this because I believe in you. You need to leave your old ways. It feels like we've gone away from that. Now it's just, we're fighting, right? Yeah. And I think it would be interesting if Hook could go into those things because, like I mentioned, it feels like rinse repeat with, veteran fight, Jericho.
So here's
and
the
all
thing.
That. It's like, come on.
We've said already that his mic work, not good. It's not serviceable. So you've said you just wouldn't even have him talk at all.
Never.
You really got to find ways to come with some sort of character work and reason to really, dive into some emotions then. And we're not doing that with Hook at all.
Yeah, it's all superficial. It's all,
Right. There's no emotion to this.
And I love Hook as far as like the presentation. He might not have any sizzle. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Taz had a presence. Go back and watch any of the ECW and even early WWF or WWE, whatever it was at that time. He had a presence where it was like, fuck. I feel as if they're saying we want that same presence from Hook, and Hook isn't that. Hook is cool guy, right? When Hook has the chips and Hook is the backpack and what's up and sure, I'll do this. That is, I think he can do that character, but we're trying to do be Taz. And it's like, he ain't Taz. You know what I'm saying? So, but Samoa Joe's back.
He's not
Let's
Taz.
focus on that.
Rewind 89 is Taz. Well, no, he's
What?
not Taz.
Maybe.
We said that. That's right. He's not.
But Samoa Joe's back, and Samoa Joe being back fucking rules.
That's
Love it.
cool.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe.
It's never
I'm
not
excited for
fun.
that.
When that music hits and the crowd's chanting and
Oh.
Joe walks out like he's in that moment this is real and he's ready to murder somebody. It's great time.
Yeah. You want to talk about someone cool. That's a guy that just walks around at any kind of way being cool. Yeah, I love Samoa Joe. Man, I don't want to be so negative, but I didn't like this next segment either. Renee Paquette is backstage talking to Jeff Jarrett.
Twice tonight we see Jeff Jarrett.
And Dustin
We love
Rhodes
And
grumbles a fucking promo about world guys and last. You know what I noticed, honestly, Tim, about the whole episode? I'm going to name some things that happened. Chris Jericho's New York Minute. Jeff Jarrett twice. Dustin Rhodes. Adam Copeland. How fucking old is this show? And on top of that, I love Hangman Page. Hangman did nothing wrong. But his big match is with Christopher Daniels.
Yeah.
You guys know you have Ricky Starks, right? Like someone.
Well, so yeah, at least my hope with the Hangman thing is Christopher Daniels is like, I'll do it, and they are going to murder this man.
Oh yeah, but there's no future in it. That's what I'm getting.
No,
at. Like,
yeah, right. I get that. Well, but unless it's like, no, we're going to establish Hangman as like, fuck, guy, you didn't have to do that.
Yeah, I hope something, but come on, guys.
His testicle, man.
It's like we don't need a senior circuit at AEW. Like,
yeah,
no, man, come on.
Well, at least we don't need it on the Dynamite.
Yeah, if you want to do this collision, fine. But yeah, this
An old guy and I, right? Can we set a?
Yeah.
I mean, look, we're old, we get it, but like we're also not out there on your TV. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not taking back.
Make sure to subscribe, allateWrapup.com.
Well, this is where if you wanted to still have Rampage, put all those guys on Rampage, right? Friday night, and you put Dustin Rhodes and Jeff Jarrett, all that shit.
Or don't.
And then we got a match that, man, had all the potential in the world, but I think it was cut short because the flap the gums earlier, Jeff Jarrett and MJF went a little long. We had the women's casino gauntlet match. Chris Statlander, Saturday night. She's the
Saturday night.
Oh,
Saturday. Which, by the way, that was the collision theme again. You noticed.
I love it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want her to like start squatting people again. I think I've said that before, but
Squatlander.
Squatlander. Yes.
Where she's just squatting.
Yeah. But she comes out first. Second person coming out, Jamie Hayter. Kiss the bicep because you're about to get your head knocked off. And that's cool. I don't think I've ever seen these two wrestle against each other before.
If we did it, it wasn't memorable. Yeah.
Yeah. but love that. It was really cool. Babyface in these kind of matches. I always
Hard
do
hitters.
enjoy. Yeah. And hard hitters for sure. Next up in the chat, help me out. Tim, maybe you can help me out. Megan Bain.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know
Something
who
like
this
that.
was.
I don't either.
I thought it was Anna Jay. When she started to walk out, I was like, oh, we're giving Anna Jay. Hey, nope, that's not her. But the presentation looked like $1 million, didn't it? With the headdress and
I don't know
all
where
that.
this is. There, people in the chat are saying the Megasus. I don't know. We gotta look this up. Where can we find more? From what? Where in the nether? Where in the interwebs?
The GCW. I feel like everyone goes to GCW. If like you need to just be a quick pop,
ain't cool.
go to GC. Yeah.
Unless you piss your pants.
Yeah.
So we got somebody else in the chat here. Turbyfield says, "Where was Anna?" Yeah, man, what's up with that?
Well, I believe she can't challenge for the title, so maybe that's why she wasn't in the match. Remember, she took on Mariah May in that hardcore match and she lost it. So potentially that's why. Yeah. But I felt like we could have put more people in this. We could have put Queen Amanada in it. Again, you just want a big pop for one night. Put Athena, right? She doesn't have to get pinned. If her music hits, people are going to lose their shit.
Mm-hmm.
You could put in fucking Karen Jarrett. If we fucking love these Jarretts so goddamn much, put her fucking ass in there. You know what I mean?
Oh, we love the Jarretts.
Apparently. I don't, but you know. But then let's get back on track. Then the best baby face in pro wrestling, Willow Nightingale, comes out and she owned this match. The body slam and the smile at the camera.
She's so fun.
But like, she has a presence now. Because before it was like, hey, Willow, you're so great.
No, but
and now
she
it's
knows
like
the game now. Like she's working the cam. She's like the crowd, right? Like, she knows what she's doing.
She is so much improved from when she started. And I loved when she started. I just think the world of her. She's great. But she's
take
there.
Her on a date to Walmart.
I'm married. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But if you weren't, take her on a date to Walmart. Tom's dating advice, if you missed it earlier, take your date to Walmart.
It's the breaking point. You want to learn if they're really about it.
So date one, you're saying date one.
No. I'm saying, hey, we've gone on 3 dates now. Do I really like this girl? Do I want to call her my girlfriend, or do I want to call him my boyfriend?
Set this up as a date, or are you just like, hey, let's run to Walmart real quick? Are you like sneaking this one in? Is this
sneak it?
Is this a manipulative test?
Yeah. 100%. Because they'll prepare, right? They'll be, oh no, if I see this, I will be like, oh no, it's all, you got to flow with it. You could easily say, hey, I'll take you to dinner at X place. And then you go, oh, actually, I'm very sorry. I need an air pump for my tire just in case if I get a flat. Go to Walmart.
What's up? Fucking Mama 2 Times says, I'll definitely take Willow to Walmart. We'd have a ton of fun in the toy section. And Rewind 89 says, Double J is probably one of the most successful people who ever walked this planet. There's levels to this game, and Double J is on top. Yeah,
he's going to hell. So how about that? Be as successful as you want on this earth. You're going to live in hell, motherfucker. Then the best pro wrestler. I don't know. Just the best.
There's gonna be someday where you're gonna be like you're gonna be in step 4 panel interview of an interview to be a writer for AEW, and they're gonna be like, listen, we found this on the internet.
Get him in here. I'll fucking tell him. I don't give a shit.
Let's make this into a segment. This is perfect. Let me write this down. Look, you showed the Jack Perry footage. You can show this.
Right. Show this. Yeah. Who else was in this match? Oh, Julia Hart. I missed Julia Hart. Julia Hart, another really cool entrance where she sings the song very stoically and kind of like, is this girl going to fucking stab herself or me? Like, I don't know what's going to happen here, right? She's kind of got that vibe of like, someone's getting hurt. Who the fuck is it, right?
Lean into it. More spooky, more crazy.
Love it. And then the best pro wrestler on this planet enters the match. Tony Time. It is timeless. Tony Storm, and she gets in there, and she's now
like a young Rock. She's got this so much potential.
Yeah. yeah, she fucking rules. And now we're rocking and rolling. We're kicking, we're punching, we're suplexing, body slam.
Yep.
And right when you think we've hit the apex of this match, nope, you feel the wrath. Harley Cameron runs out there. God, I love her. You know who she reminds me of? Not, she has more kookiness to it, but the vibe is a Spike Dudley, where it's like, hey, she could beat a Jamie Hayter, but she's more likely going to get thrown in the sixth row.
I think, did you liken her to Santino last week? Was that who we were?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, where like it's kind of that mix, right? It's the Santino in the promos, but it's a little more Spike Dudley in the because like
in the wrestling.
She's not just a jobber, right? Like she's not a workover. Like she's gonna lose more often than not because of the character positioning, right? It feels more Mark Briscoe-ish, right? Without being crazy, right? Where
right, exactly.
No, this is capable wrestler here.
Mark Briscoe beat Briscoe beat Kyle Fletcher, so like that's exactly. Like she could win those big ones, but most likely she's not. But she's gonna get crazy. So
Derek 83 says, I heard air guitar when Tony came out.
Yeah. Tony time. But then we get our craziness. We get some fun stuff. We get some punching, kicking, and then Julia goes to, I believe, spray Jamie Hayter in the face, but then sidesteps that. Jamie Hayter does. The mist goes into Harley Cameron's face.
The food color spit of doom.
Yeah. Then she gets kicked, and then I believe Tony rolled up Julia, right? Rolled up Julia.
That's right.
1, 2, 3. Toni Storm versus Mariah May in Australia.
Mariah May was loving it. Was just like, fuck yeah, this nerd. She was just like, this is the best thing that could have happened.
Yes. And this is what I need more of from, because like, so let me contrast it with Mercedes Moné, because they're kind of, again, doing the same thing. But the thing that I love about Mariah May is when the returning stars music hits, Mercedes, classically trained in this regard, will like, oh shit, oh my God, no. Where Mariah May's like, oh, it took you this long to get here?
Yeah.
Like,
oh, I was hoping somebody would.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Good Lord, I wasn't scheduled to fight tonight, and I really wanted. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
It's attractive. I like that.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
So we've said this,
and not like sexually. Like, hold on.
Well, I know what you're saying.
Not sexually. I'm saying attractive is like as a character.
Yeah, I'm just saying like it's even the heels. I don't need them all to be a shitbag heel. That works for some characters,
right?
And it fits for certain types. But like, if you were that cocky of an evil shithead, Elon Musk isn't scared if you walk in the room and start talking shit to him, right? He's going to be like, I can have you killed, man. Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're dealing with a different animal when you're dealing with a fucking sociopath like that.
Exactly. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be the Vaders or Keith Lee, body type of like, those are the people that don't run. No. Like, she is slender and she's going to be like, I'll fuck you up.
Kind of that, like, how they made Edge the ultimate opportunist, right? Like, it's somebody who's confident that, like, okay, right, I'm going to, like, whatever.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Like, I still got this. Fuck you
so
up.
I'm excited for this. Yeah. Toni Storm versus Mariah May in Australia. What do you think? Are we getting a payoff or what happens here?
No, I definitely don't think that, like, I mean, you might get a title change hands, but we're not done if that happens, right?
But do you think are we still going to do Rookie of the Year Toni Storm?
So I think she shows up at least and may or may not leave as that, right? Depending on how much deeper this story is going to go. If she wins this title, it's as Tony time, the young star, because I think there's more to follow of breaking this character down.
Possibly. I was thinking because I've seen, in her matches, if you've noticed, there's been a couple times where she almost hits the pose, right? Where she almost does the hands to the face, but then she goes and does this. I think she's going to win, do the pose. We get the black and white.
And that could happen too, and that would be great.
That'd be awesome.
There in Australia, right? In front of home, and her shining moment.
Yep. Luther comes out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Has an award. Yes.
that
Yes.
would be the best. But yeah, very excited for that. And then we get to son of a bitch, Tim. I just realized this. It was a gauntlet match, but it was right before the main event.
Yeah, I know. I know. I thought of that when it happened. I forgot about it, but yeah, it was time for the women.
God damn it, Tony. What are we doing, brother? Can't just keep putting the Excel file and just changing the date. All right, we get to our main event. It's a world championship match, and Powerhouse Hobbs is the fucking man, isn't he?
Tom, I talked myself into some hope. I really was like, man, we could do a thing here. This Death Riders thing has been dead in the water. We could give it a shot in the arm, and we could give Powerhouse Hobbs a major fucking boost. And there were some moments in this match where I thought they heard me. Oh, we were so close.
You know what it feels like? It feels similar to when MJF was the champion and he did that short program with Ricky Starks, and everyone was like, Ricky should just beat him. Ricky should just beat him. But they had already planned, and I can't remember who it was, but they had already planned the match for MJF, his championship match.
Yeah.
We've already planned Adam Copeland versus John Moxley for pay-per-view. But I thought we should have. Powerhouse
has
again
looked like a fucking star.
Yeah.
Since he came back with this, man. I was like, sometimes you gotta do it. Like, I said this with the Orange Cassidy. There was a moment where they could have been like, all right, do it. And it would have worked for a little bit of time. And that's what we could have done here.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a presence. But I will say this, the observation I have after this. So John Moxley wins the match after countless run-ins and shenanigans and Powerhouse Hobbs kicking out of all of it. He finally gets choked out by the Yeah, John Moxley's was. Yeah. Moxley's ear was half gone. That's what I was going to say. Going back to Collision, John Moxley also made Powerhouse Hobbs look like a star because John Moxley has that Mariah May vibe of like, I don't care. Good. Let's fucking. But when he hit him in the back with the chair and he was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, he did great to make Powerhouse Hobbs look awesome. And this match still elevated
Moxley's
Powerhouse
like,
Hobbs.
This isn't what happens when historically people get hit in the back with chairs around me.
Yeah, exactly. So here's my observation, though. After the match, Moxley and the Death Riders, they start beating up on Powerhouse Hobbs. They go right after his knee, crush it. Rated FTR finally comes out. That's basically the show. But if you've noticed, if we're going to say that takes him out, which it probably will, Powerhouse Hobbs is gone. Orange Cassidy's gone. Darby's gone. I think we do, and it could be more people, so don't think of it in rigid terms, but I think we could do an Ebenezer Scrooge type finish for John Moxley, paying for his sins. So whoever beats him for this championship, it's when the ref isn't looking, a coffin drop. When the ref isn't looking, an orange punch and a spine buster. And like all the people he tried to take out come back and fuck him up.
You really can do that if you do some sort of like falls count anywhere, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And then every turn is
what the fuck? Yeah.
A ghost of your demon's past, right? Yes.
Yeah. I think whoever takes the title from him, I think that would be a cool payoff because again, where's Orange Cassidy? No one's seen him. Darby Allin, where's he at? No one's seen him. And again,
I recently went and saw a Christmas Carol play here at the Kansas City Rep Theater here in town. And I gotta say, it hit me there. I was like, this is a play about how rich people should die alone. I love this. Like, this is good stuff.
Muppet Christmas Carol is awesome.
It's the best one. It is the best one.
Yeah. Yeah. Love that. But I also love this episode, except for all the old guys. Get them off. Don't like that.
A lot of old guys. Yeah, we're here. Huh? That was the main event. Yeah, man. And I'm still excited though, because Maximum Carnage is one of these where it's also Collision. I mean, this Texas Death Match. I know it's Christopher Daniels, it's another old guy, but we're gonna do something here, right?
Yeah, I think they're breaking kayfabe. I think they're friends. Typically, friends hit each other a little harder than acquaintances. So I think that's going to happen. I think, look, they did a whole thing. Credit to AEW's YouTube page, by the way. They're doing these like timeline videos, and they did the like timeline video of every Texas death match that Hangman's been in. Now they're not showing you the full match, which I think is smart to a certain degree, but like, I think there's a reason, right? I also think it's very smart of them. I'll say this. I don't think it's smart to run in the same city 2 nights in a row. That's kind of silly, I believe. But it is very smart to do this show tomorrow night, because on Saturday night, nobody's watching that in America. Like,
they're going to be watching.
They're going to watch the playoff game.
They're going to watch the Chiefs destroy the Texans.
The Chiefs are at 3:30.
Yeah, but then later,
they're going to watch the Eagles and Rams, and those are 2 huge markets. So, like, you're going to catch it on Max most likely. At least I will.
Yeah. All right. Well,
excited for that. Excited for Swerve and Ricochet. And yeah, like you said, I'm not giving up on the Death Riders story, but man, I'm getting close, right? Like, it's starting, but they're so good at storytelling. Like, I know that the payoffs have not been good for AEW, right? Like the devil thing with MJF, and then even when CM Punk and the MJF return kind of stuff. But that's because of injuries, right? Injuries fuck that up afterwards. So they don't tell bad stories, I don't feel. So I think this one still has a shot.
There's something that they could do. But Tom, I'm going to wow and impress you.
Oh, great.
Some transition skills here. Rewind 89 in the chat says Double J is wealthy, but humble at the same time. With his values, he will never die alone. And I want to remind you that you will never die alone, too, as long as you stay connected to our community right here at AllEliteWrapup.com. Subscribe, follow us on all the social medias, and join us right here next week for more All Elite Wrap Up.